Greetings, everyone. It is new unit day here on JP, and we're going to be given a preview of that unit. And today we got a new water spear unit, a new version of young old, which, boy, it's still a mouthful, and it still doesn't make any sense if you're just not in the awareness. Great, already coughing in this video. Well, let's show off his limit burst first, which, being a water unit, you would expect basically the sun into a nuclear explosion. I suppose the water part of that entire limit burst is the fact that he can, I don't know, it's a blue planet, so I guess there's no land. I don't entirely know, but this limit burst, as cool as it does look, makes you question about why the hell this is remotely a water limit burst when there's essentially nothing except the blue marble at the end. But anyway, this is a really good looking unit, and of course, I'm all about cheap pulls because, well, sometimes they end up working out for you. So, another 100 cost unit. I'm not interested in spending a ton of resources for obvious reasons. But we're going to start this with a poll and just see what our luck is for the month of December. And the survey says, into a white book. That's not encouraging. It is a character. I guess it could reform. I don't think we're that lucky, but oh, this is looking very bad. Oh, this is one of the worst things you can see in Wotv. Those of you who don't know, when you see like a blue at the top, that means you're pretty much dead. Unless this one changes. It does not. We are super dead. December, for anyone who is curious, I have no luck. None whatsoever. I'm done for the month. Alright. But thankfully we are not done for this video. We are going to be taking a look at our new character. We'll take a look in terms of like a full water party, and then we're going to take a look at well, essentially how we're going to be testing him today, because I think that the new version of Old has a couple of potential interesting groups that he could fit into, particularly with spears. I think is maybe the more successful avenue for him, and water is the more longevity style. So, taking a look, let's switch up to our water party and see what kind of stats we're looking at. Boom! 140 version of him with his TMR, the Alexandrite ring, and his new piece of equipment, as well as Ultros, an attack up boost card, and last but not least, another UR vision card. Leaves you with about this, as well as all the other water vision cards. We have here about 1100 HP, 1900 attack, 28 defense, 6 spirit, 97 accuracy, which is very, very high. 101 speed too is also pretty decent, and 70 single target resistance with 36 AoE resistance, with a net positive towards all damage types and all elemental types, with such as his resistances to certain status effects. Pretty interesting, and overall damn decent. Rolling down, just to look at how it changes once we've thrown him into a different party, he actually doesn't lose that much in terms of his stats. As a matter of fact, with the current build that we have, which I want to talk about that in a second, he actually is pretty still the same, with 102 accuracy, 28 defense, 6 spirit, about 9,000 HP, where essentially he's lost a bit. But yeah, overall, this character ends up being a net positive, really looking good character. So let's take a look at some more details, shall we? There we go. All right, so 100 cost, 3 move, 1 jump. Not as good as Wind Veritas, but what you gonna do, right? Paladin and Trick Lancer as his sub jobs. New main job. Spear, armors, helmet, and accessories, with a TMR, an armor TMR, that is pretty good. Just 13 defense, 10 critical, evasion, and a bunch of HP, which is kind of nice for him. His ability on this is also pretty nice. Pierce attack up by 25 for self, grants the following effects of Dispelling Haste, and restores 250 CT, which, yeah, I think this is a solid TMR for him. It's a solid TMR for a lot of spear units. It has double cast, so you can use it a couple of times. Overall, pretty nice. Not as insane as some of the other ones we've seen, but I think this is pretty high quality for spear users. Master ability in this character will give single target resistant reaction block rate, and Dream ability will give single target resistance and healing power, as well as increasing one of his abilities. So taking a look, let's take a look at really quickly through his sub jobs. Trick Lancer, probably a pretty good pick for him, just to have attack boosts and critical rate boosts for him and allies. You have piercing damage, destroying AP, critical evasion down, immobilize, and that also gets a little bit of an upgrade. Honestly, Trick Lancer has pretty good range, pretty good flexibility, and decent damage with the piercing damage. So Trick Lancer, probably a good option. If you're looking for a little bit more of a, I guess, soft tank, he does get stun, he does get a big defense and spirit boost here, his increased chance of being targeted, he can increase HP, and he can dispel all debuffs, but he did miss out on the Guts style effect from Paladin, and there's a reason for that. So yes, last, his main job. Piercing damage is in there, which is pretty nice. We have this huge wall of text of an ability which is very similar to Helena, so you know their husband and wife. Increase AoE resistance by 20 for 3 turns for allies if you have one of the following effects: re-raise. So basically he is a re-raise style character, and if re-raise is in effect, he does get this AoE resistance increase for 3 turns for allies, which is pretty nice. 200% chance for physical damage up, as well as a physical distance resistance. And this is the honeycomb style effect from 5 to 10, minimum range of 4, maximum range of 7 for 3 turns. If you have one of the following effects, you can also increase magical distance-based resistance, which is an interesting way of just giving a aura style effect to make this character just better at receiving damage. And it also grants him a Bell style effect for 3 turns. So it's essentially everything and the kitchen sink all in one ability. You always want this active. And it's nice because honestly, flavor wise, it pairs really nice with Helena and the re-raise protection. So I mean, I kind of just like it for that. I don't think that those two will really probably have too much synergy, but it is nice to see some. Next up, a reduction of damage taken barrier of 5000 HP, and when a friendly unit is within range, cast another effect. That effect is down here, as you can see. Not this one. This is off of his limit burst, and we'll come back to that in a second, but 30% chance for physical damage of 15% for allies. So another little style aura effect. Increasing defense penetration and 30% hit chance, which is nice because he has pretty high accuracy off of his AoE ability, and he absorbs 30% of the damage done, and it is a multi-hitter. It also breaks physical barriers once you upgrade it, and yeah, it's pretty nice ability once it's been upgraded a couple times. Last but not least, damage and CT increase and dispel ignore fatal damage on a pretty short range ability, which I'm, well, less than excited about because this is it's super short range and single target, which is good for him to have, and he's probably going to be fairly damage resistant, but it is a little worrying when that range is that short because it might be good now and just later fall off. Chance to counter damage with dealing damage and absorbing part of the HP. His support skills include HP, AoE resistance, attack, and accuracy, as well as reaction block rate and initial AP, which this one maybe you could go out if you wanted like confusion, stun, and accuracy increase, but there you go. And his limit burst, which is a two-parter, decrease pierce resistance by 38%. This is why I think he's generally good with other spear units. 200% mod, and it casts the second ability, which restores 200 CT for allies, not self, 60% attack boost, 60 accuracy increase, 60% attack for 3 turns for self, and 60 accuracy for self. So a nice speed boost for his allies, as well as just powering them up and making them super accurate. I like turn in a lot of principle here because he essentially has really good stats and his abilities do a lot of things. Just like Helena, I think he is quite good, and we're just going to get in here and start seeing what we can do against this, which is a pretty good, pretty strong current team on JP. However, when I saw Peachin's video earlier with him, quite good, encouraging, but also a little bit worrying because his damage seemed just a tiny bit on the low side. But we're going to test that out right here. So let's go in here. There's that limit burst. We're going to save that up for a bit. We could test it out right now, throwing it against Glassy. And remember, this is the limit burst that fires off a nuke. And, you know, sometimes you just got to question when the limit burst looks like that and it only deals that much damage to one of your characters. All right, next up, taking a look at some other abilities here. Given an idea and down to a few more. Wait, no, we did that one already. Come on, Umbra, get it together. All right, so let's take a look, see what abilities we have. This, I do believe, is our wall of text ability. Nope, it is this one. So let's cast this first. Pretty nice bonus right there. If we just even take a look for a second at what we gave this character, like accuracy bonuses and everything that we're going to get off the limit burst will make it even nicer, but 70 single target resistance and 59 AoE resistance without even some of the best spear cards out there, which is something that I do want to talk about in a second, but yeah, we'll wait for a bit. Cast some other abilities. Got some enemy turns in here, dealing no damage instead. Oops, sorry, wrong one. $100,000 abilities cast, and now we're getting in. So even after a single turn of casting one ability, we're up to 84 AP, which is pretty darn nice. This is the second ability that we will cast now. Get that HP barrier going. And now we can kind of just start throwing things at him and just seeing how much damage we can do. Now, of course, Raph, I would say, not particularly the highest damage dealer, but you can see already we're pretty good with that HP barrier in there. And just the other style effect of Protect that he is giving towards other characters, reducing the damage quite nicely. So let's jump over here. And unfortunately, we're going to have to beat up on our friends a little bit here. One of the things that I was particularly thinking would be quite nice is the AoE shred off of this character to just see if it's going to give us a lot more damage when our turn rolls around. Throw our limit burst here from Vivi to C. High chance of stun, so status effects still potentially quite scary for him. And just check what some of our other characters can do. We also have that AoE shred, which is really nice. And this is one of the things I was particular. That's not particularly worth it, unfortunately. We'll just throw a heal in here. Make sure that we're not killing any of our guys quite yet. So yeah, you can see that even with the AoE shred, still pretty damage resistant some tanks, which is one of the concerns I generally have about him, not being able to do enough with the combination of spear units and more spear VCs that I simply don't have, just because of the fact that, well, a lot of spear VCs are just on specific, like limited style, and still missing that. We'll also need to see, oh, we have a visitor right in the middle of our video. Hi. Thanks for showing up. Thanks. This is staying in the video. That's a bottle cap. Yeah. We are so taking a break right in the middle of this recording. There it goes. You got it. You killed it. You killed the bottle cap. There he goes. He got what he wanted. All right. Coming back. Let's just take a peek here. So yeah, I do considerably really like this character for what he is capable of doing. Like, you look at this, and this is really impressive damage. His abilities do a ton of things for himself and other characters on the same team. And in combination with certain other abilities out there that power up spear and water users, I think that his DPS is pretty good. But without the correct abilities in the correct order, it does make me a little bit concerned that he just won't actually be there. But let's cast the limit burst. We're going to nuke Vivi, but no worries. He's got that nice AoE, and Vivi's going to get the bonus too. So taking a look at his stats now, we are now looking at 162 accuracy without really too much extra sources. And his stats have essentially, his attack stat has gone up to what it was before in the pure water party, which is pretty nice boost. Also looking over here, Fly Glassy has also benefited from that. All of our characters have essentially benefited from it, which is a pretty nice little team approach from a character that is kind of just doing things for other characters as well. So my final thoughts is a little bit still on the dubious side about how truly amazing this character is. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that he's strong. It's just kind of a question of where he is the strongest and how that's going to play into like the very near future with new characters and everything, because there's still one more collaboration before the end of the year, and that usually brings pretty impactful characters, which is just making me more and more hesitant. I think that for Water, it's a nice get because he combines so well with characters such as Ferris and Summer Glassy. Both of those characters would be quite happy to be on a team with this, or you could go the Gurnsbeck route as well, and Water and Spear kind of has enough there too to be pretty successful, since it is a physical based team. But the place where I'm potentially interested in is with multi-elemental spear types Oberon has gotten a pretty big upgrade to his limit burst recently. Like Glassy has gotten a pretty big boost to her limit burst. We have Wind Veritas, who is really, really important for not only wind, but a lot of characters looking to do AoE type stuff. And yeah, that kind of makes me just think that this character might be good in a multi-elemental spear party, but I have no idea what that looks like. And with me not pulling the character, I don't feel like I'm going to have that idea for at least a little while. But still, it is exciting for a new water character. And you know what? We can finally say that there's a very good version of Oelde in Wotv. Only took 4 years. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.